You see what's happened to Willie Allen. We are under our third caution, just happened moments ago here at Kentucky Speedway, as we have completed 74 of 200 laps. And Willie trying to get back to pit road, but it's not going to matter whether he does or doesn't. That car is
Hold up. Cut it off. We don't want to tear the motor.
Finished 15th last week after being 2 laps down. Let's take a look and see what happened, guys.
Let's follow these guys down in the corner. Looks like Willie's getting ready to pass the 99 of Bain, but he just gets in a little deep, touches the left rear of Trevor's car and spins. And man, I hate that. This is a guy needing a break, a good driver, qualified good for this race,
and having a good run.
Yeah.
Lead lap. Here come the leaders.
Well, here come the race leaders to pit road, and we're going to start things off with Dr. Jerry Punch.
All right, guys, we're going to have Toyota, Dodge, Toyota. It'll be 32, 22, 18. Sorensen, top of your screen. They plan a 4-tire change. No other adjustments. He said the car is just that good. They'll top it off with Sunoco fuel. Vince.
The 22, Brad Keselowski, says it has a little bit too much bounce on the short run, sliding the front. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment. It's going to be a 4-tire change for the 22. Jamie Little.
And Brad Coleman has been anxiously awaiting the arrival of 4 new tires, filling it up with Sunoco fuel, and no adjustments is the call, Dave.
Joe Logano running second. They will make a track bar and wedge adjustment, air pressure as well. The car was tight and getting tighter, but you know what clean air can do for you? He wins the race off of pit road.
So Joey Logano gets off pit road first, with Brad Coleman close behind. And here comes everybody else out of pit road that were on the lead lap. A total of 21 cars at the time that this third caution came out here at Kentucky Speedway. We'll set things for you and reset the field. Right now, though, it looks like Joey Logano has retaken the race lead here at Kentucky. And there he is out front. Under our third caution here at Kentucky Speedway, after Willie Allen tagged the wall between turn 3 and 4, our Aaron's lucky dog is going to go to the 04 of Jeremy Clements. That'll give us 22 cars on the lead lap. Down 1 lap, surprisingly, is Scott Riggs. Remember, he got penalized last time. Well, we had a penalty for the 99 that we're hearing about. And in fact, we had all kinds of action during this last round of pit stops. Let's go over the wall with Hollywood Armstrong.
Come on, boys, let's give him a nice smooth stop on this 5-hour engine Toyota.
I think he had to feel a little 5-hour energy in him there. Good job for Hollywood. You can see that Stephen Wallace is now up to 6th position. 2 penalties. We mentioned the one on the 99. They had a rolling tire outside the box for Trevor Bain. And the 40 also had equipment, Jeff Green, as they are going to go to the rear. 7 cars are now out of this race. We can update you. Morgan Shepherd, Kevin LePage added to the list. How about an update on Carl Edwards? He has fought his way back. There's his cycle all the way back as far as 31st on lap 26. And right now we find him in the 14th position. Let's reset it for you. It'll be Joey Logano up front. And then it's Brad Coleman, Reed Sorensen, Justin Allgaier 4th, Mike Bliss, Stephen Wallace, then Brad Keselowski 7th, Josh Wise 8th, Paul Menard 9th, and Michael Annett rounds out your top 10. Pace car has pulled down, flag in hand at the start-finish line, and we're just waiting to go back to green flag racing here at Kentucky. And a good jump for Joey. Reed Sorensen, who was the leader before the round of pit stops, came out in 3rd. Looks like he's trying to take over the 2nd position away from Coleman, but Coleman's having none of it.
Yeah, Coleman's not going to give it all. He's getting better and better to this racetrack. Now take a look at Coleman on the outside of that racetrack. Right behind him is Reed Sorensen. He's got a good run too, but Justin Allgaier has been strong throughout the night.
Whoa. Down on the apron for Justin Allgaier. And he gets around, and all of a sudden, as we go to the right side of your screen, keep an eye on the 21. We had reports of smoke out of the 21 for Scott Riggs.
Yeah, you see the left front fender is caved in. On that restart, you can see it right at the start-finish line. He had to jump out of line like somebody didn't go in front of him, and he got a little damage from it.
And we'll keep an eye on that, see if it's front. Let's watch the restart on the right side.
This is actually after that. He pulled out a line at the start-finish line, made it 3 wide. See right there, he pays the price for it.
He did pull back. He got a warning. He will not be further penalized because he immediately gave the position back.
And that's the key thing. He pulled out a line, and NASCAR would have penalized him had he not given it back.
Here comes Brad Keselowski. He has gotten around Stephen Wallace now. Moved Brad up to 6th, Stephen back to 7th.
There's Michael Annett in that 15. He's having a good run tonight.
He sure is, as he is fighting hard. A 31.8 second lap last time around. That's right with Stephen Wallace and the guys right in front of him. Annett got his first top 10 in the Nationwide Series in this race last season when he finished 7th.
But I always like watching these restarts. These guys got real low air pressure in these cars. Some of them are sliding all over the place until the air pressure comes up, and some of them can really get going fast. And those guys there, those are the ones I'm looking at in these short runs, especially if we get a green-white checker, stuff like that. Who can get going and who can't? There's your race leader, Joey Logano, and the long line following him. And Carl Edwards, we can tell you, has poked his nose into the top 10. Here is a great battle. You got Michael Annett with Menard, and there is Carl. That is for 8th, 9th, and 10th, with Josh Wise just hanging on the doorstep there in 11th.
Yeah, almost a disastrous start for Carl Edwards. Had that right rear tire going down and went way, way back, but he's moved his way back, up, like I said, up into the top 10 and looking for more. Yeah, I was watching Carl's lap times. It looks like they're pretty respectable. I mean, he's not way off right now. And one thing I'm noticing, Andy, that the lights are on at this racetrack all around it now. You got to believe the track's cooling down a little bit, but man, it was hot today. Humid, sticky, nasty, everything. And I hope the track cools down a little bit. If it does, these cars are definitely going to start handling better. Yeah, and the speeds are going to come up. You see sparks flying out of some of them. You might see more of that as the speeds pick up. And you also may see some cars that maybe weren't so good when the track was hot and slick get better as the night goes on. Right now, that front pack of cars, the top 5, sort of pulled away a little bit from the group behind them. Here, that battle continues with Michael Annett and Paul Menard. And here comes Carl again trying to tuck up underneath. But as they head down the backstretch, Annett and Menard sort of sort things out, pull away. And, boy, going into 3, Carl really falls back. Yeah, the car looks a little bit uneasy going at the corner. Looks like he doesn't have the confidence he needs. Generally, a car that's too loose will cause you to do that. Get out of the throttle early. But he really gets up off the corner, Will. He's backing off early, getting off the corner. The 60 car looks pretty good, Dave.
Andy, to Rusty's point, he is a little bit uneasy about that car. After the last round of pit stops, it was so twitchy in the rear end. He called it shaking. He did ask, as he makes this pass now on both Annett and Menard, he asked if the cars, if the lug nuts were all tight. Drew Blickensderfer, his crew chief, checked with all the guys. They all said yes, and that it would be okay. After this last run, the car was just a little bit loose still. They made an air pressure and track bar adjustment, but it's been an adventure for Carl, now solidly in the top 10. Doc?
And give a call to Michael Annett in the 15 car, now getting a challenge from the 7 car on the bottom of the racetrack. Annett started 26th tonight. He did not take any tires on the competition yellow to get himself up in the top 10. They made a 4-tire change there just a moment ago, and he has been hanging 8th, 9th, and 10th position, hoping to be able to get another top 10 finish like he did here 1 year ago.
Thank you, Doc. And great racing going on between those guys. Sort of has calmed down for the moment. There's the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. He is right behind Josh Wise in 12th position. A little further back is Coleman Presley, is now in the 13th spot. And there you see Coleman, and then the rest of the group coming around as well. Haven't missed anything up front. In fact, let's check in a little bit farther forward because Mike Bliss has got a mirror full to 22. Here comes Brad Keselowski. He has been slow and methodical about coming to the front.
I think one of the reasons, just like Rusty said, some of the cars are running on low air pressure, some lower than others, and I think it takes him just a little bit longer to get going. What's he saying down there, Vince?
That's exactly right, Andy. In fact, Keselowski said it feels like the first couple of laps that he's got a bunch of flat tires. He said, but it gets better every single lap. And once it gets going, he really likes his race car. As mentioned, they made no changes on that last pit stop. And if he can just get through those first couple of laps at the beginning of this run, Brad Kay is really happy with his car.